Jones, who used to be an American estate agent and now has come back to the UK, the land of his birth, to be an estate agency trainer. Luke, why are American estate agents very relationship-based in their estate agency, whilst UK estate agents are very transactional? Talk to me.
It's a great question, and really it's a big fundamental difference, right? That typically in the US it's relationship-driven results versus in the UK it's transactional-driven results. I think that there are many, many reasons, not least the fact that the UK has an employment model versus the US has a brokerage model that supports self-employed or business owners, right, inside of their brokerages. What I want to talk about is two important words that aren't that necessarily familiar with folk in the UK, but it's functionary, which is the transactional side.
Yep, same thing.
Versus fiduciary, which is the relationship side. So to unpack that a little bit further, a functional agent tends to show and tell and performs just a duty and delivers tasks and what have you, and ultimately doesn't really have any ownership or any accountability over that, versus a fiduciary tends to really take ownership and guides and advises and consults, and so is in a much more high level relationship with their client. And so yeah, that's the key difference. I think functionary versus fiduciary, transactional versus relational.
I mean, would it shock you that only one in eight people go back to the original agent they bought their house off, even though half of the house sales since lockdown finished have only been in the house 6 years and 18 weeks or less in the UK?
Doesn't shock me at all. And by the way, it's certainly also pretty terrible in the States as well. And so I think that world over, agents have a lot of work to do to raise their standard. And I think that in the US, there's more support mechanisms in place to enable agents to be in the relationship-driven business.
So how,
versus here, it's almost like a rigged system because the consumer doesn't win, right? Typically, the agent certainly doesn't win because they're very lowly paid and they're in a model that really doesn't support their growth. The only real winner, as far as I see it, and again, not to denigrate because there's lots of great companies, but I don't know that much about the corporate world over here, but from what I can tell, the focus is on the bottom line for the business versus helping the agent, who in turn helps the community.
So apart from everyone becoming self-employed estate agents in the UK, what else can let's just say there's a chap called Tom or Sarah who's a damn good neg who thinks to themselves, I'm sick and tired of just playing let's get them on, flog it, bank it and run, and then put, what advice would you give to anyone watching this?
Well, again, it's really important to make the point that in the US, there's plenty of really great employment models as well, right? And in fact, there's no reason why you couldn't here have a brokerage where inside of the brokerage, there are teams of really high functioning fiduciary companies that also employ their staff. It doesn't have to be self-employed all the way. But what you have to do is you have to have this, it's almost like this kind of this we have to be experts. We have to be trained and qualified and resourceful, and that's at the core of what we do. And that's why we get highly paid, and that's why we're irreplaceable. Versus if you've just got this low skill environment, it's low pay, and you're.
But again, coming back to the question that I asked, is what could Tom or Sarah, the negotiator, do? Let's just say, for argument's sake, they've got 2 years worth of property sales that have just gone through. Would you almost get them to, even if it's in their own time, to put their telephone numbers, the homeowners' details in WhatsApp and send them great info? I mean, is this the sort of thing that you'd be advising?
Sure. I mean, I think what it is about being in touch with your clients and building a relationship with them so that they know and love and trust you. And here's the thing, I think that it's not really about market share as much as it's about mind share, in the sense that if you can win that trust and they think of you when they think of property, so therefore they give you a call.
Or trust is transferable and they're at a dinner party and someone says, I'm about to sell my house.
100%, right? So I think that this is the key, is that essentially it really is a win-win to have a more fiduciary kind of model.
A relationship.
Versus a relationship-driven
Yep.
model, and yet it's simple, but it's not easy, Chris. This is the thing, is that there's a lot involved, and it takes a long time to build those relationships, and you have to use proven strategies behind that.
And do you think a lot of it is the case of is that a lot of people want to do something on a Monday and get the benefit of it on a Friday?
Of course, and that's the thing is that this is a marathon run, right? And so again, you have to look at this as you're building a pipeline for the future. And if we know that 75+% of deals come from past clients and referrals, that's going to take time, right? Because your past clients might only be buying every 7 to 9 years, but listen, they'll refer you 3 times a year if they really trust you, and that's where you can build a really great business.
Putting aside GDPR issues, which I don't think will be an issue, but again, and just check your employment contracts. But take the telephone numbers of the people who you're dealing with, put them into WhatsApp. Again, a massive tip for you. Broadcast list, check it out. You can send one message to 250 people in one go, and keep them updated with information, valuable stuff. Updated valuation reports on their properties. Send them a SPRIF report or a home search report. Other reports are available. Tell them what's happening in the property market. Tell them what houses are selling for in their locality. Quarter mile radius using the house price function on Rightmove, the public side. Is it really as simple as that? But really, it's not. It's simple, but it's not easy. You say,
and it's easy. It's easy to do, but it's not. It's not easy. But more than that, it's easy not to do. Right. So I think that the people.
It's delayed gratification, isn't it? You're doing it now in 2022, but you won't get the benefit of it until probably 2026, 2027. But at least you know damn well when you do your bid of Dalio or the.
And here's the thing: like if you're working inside of an employed model where the objective is to get market share, you can still be fiduciary. You can still be high-level qualified experts, right? But my contention really is that you have to be hyper-local, because you want to be thought of as the local area economist, right? The local expert in your neighborhood. So I wouldn't dare tell anyone how to sell a home in Grantham. I don't know the first thing about your market, but for agents that work with me or in my market, down in the Southwest, you know everything that there is, and you become the local area resource for your customers, so that they call you when they want to know, hey, there's inflation going on, or there's interest rate hikes, or there's low inventory, or there's this and this and this. And you become that person.
So create the content, chuck it out on local Facebook groups, send them private messages on WhatsApp, slowly build up, because let's be honest, and if you've been in the estate agency 2 or 3 years, you're going to probably be in it for the rest of your life. So stop worrying about the short term and start playing the long game. Is that what you're saying?
I agree. And I think also, again, it's about having a proven system behind that. And I think that again, not being cynical, but the way to really nurture a client is consistency, right? So you've got to have a plan for that. And so initially, when you first meet someone, you want to kind of, shock and awe them with all your amazing value and skills and everything so that they remember you. But they're not going to hire you. No one's going to hire you off of a phone call or off a flyer or whatever. It's going to take time. So then you might want to put them on a bit of a monthly newsletter, so then you're top of mind and they keep getting the thing. Again, they're not thinking of selling, but they see it each month. And then at that time when you can start to build that relationship, then they might not hire you, but then you might want to put them on a different kind of campaign where you're reaching out to say, happy birthday, how's your kid doing? All these different events in their lives, so that, again, you're top of mind. So when it does come time for them to either buy or sell or rent or invest, they call you.
A lot of this is in the Gary Keller Millionaire Estate Agency. Is that what it's called?
It's called the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And again, this is a book, aka the Red Book or the MREA. It's not his way of doing it. It's synthesizing and collating all these great ideas and strategies from dozens of agents. And what it does is it creates models and systems around the lead gen piece.
Luke, thank you for your time today. Boys and girls, I've also got some free content. If you send me a WhatsApp message to 07950 147 572 and just say you'd like the 18 videos and the 34 videos, I'll send you all those videos on content that you can check out free of charge to people, which you'll find interesting and relevant and will attract people to you. Over 8 hours worth of free training.
There you go. Good deal.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.